Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome once again. I've realized that I have some of my subscribers whom are based on the faith-based videos which I've posted, which is literally testimonials. Like I always say in my videos that this channel is all about, lifestyle vlogs, testimonials. So I really want to come back to all my testimonial subscribers. I know some of you subscribed because of the Esther Fast testimony that I uploaded like 8 months ago on my channel. I just want to say thank you so much. I really want to appreciate that God is literally touching each and every person who's watching that testimony. And I believe I did pray in that video that whoever watches the video will resonate and will see change in their lives. And most of you have been sending comments and showing love that it was powerful, and some of you does resonate with the testimony. So today I'm back again with another testimony, which is part of my life that is me to be who I am today. If it was not because of that moment, I wouldn't be who I am now. So this is your type of content. If you find this really resonating with you, the purpose of doing these things, I'm sharing testimonies, which is also the story of my life, things that I've experienced, things that have transformed me through the power of God. If this is your type of content, please don't hesitate. Go ahead and subscribe, and also subscribe to members only, where I'm going to be posting all my testimonial vlogs, a series over there, my journey to Christ, where I basically give a background of who I was and how life transformed, and how I met God in the midst of everything that was going on in my life. And be a member, and I'll be posting soon our series. So without saying anything further, or without saying much, let's get into this video.
The angels bow down at the thought of you.
Okay guys, so the purpose of this video is how God prepared me for my marriage, for my transitioning, for who I am today, for success, for open doors. I can say a lot of things about this, but there was a preparation that needed to take place in order for certain doors to open up in my life. So I'm gonna start at the beginning of the story. So if you're watching this video, please watch it till the end, because it's gonna resonate with the series that I'm gonna partake. It's literally the beginning of how everything started. So basically, I met a man when I was 17 years old. I met an older man. At that time, he was 40. I didn't have a problem with older men because I felt like they were more mature and they could understand me as a person. So I didn't have a problem with that. I saw it as something which made sense, at that time. So I met this man, and we met online. Actually, we met on Facebook. We started communicating on Facebook, and he was overseas. Apparently, he was in London. So we were just talking over the phone and everything. So we spoke over the phone for like a year, and basically was doing everything, sending me money and a whole lot of things. He was there for me. This was also a reason which also contributed to me growing up without a dad. So I felt like the love that I was getting from older men was fulfilling that gap that I had. So after that, we spoke for a year, and then when we entered into the second year, he had to come over to Africa. That's when we actually met face to face. We started dating. Everything was going well. We were happy in the relationship, and a few months later, I then found out that I was pregnant. So I found out that I was pregnant, but that was not the intention, because the whole time I was taking contraceptive pills. So I thought it was not going to happen, but anyway, it happened. So I got pregnant, and then I found out when I was about 4 months pregnant. He was so excited. He was happy that I'm pregnant, that is, getting to have a child, and he wanted a son and all of that. And he looked after the pregnancy. I wouldn't lie if I say he neglected or anything, whatever I needed, he was there for the pregnancy. Even though our relationship was no longer like open, it was just a bit awkward. But I felt like at that point we understood that there's something more important than just the relationship between me and him, which was the child. So our main focus went on the child. He was looking after the child and everything. So fast forward, the child is born. He was so excited and he named the child after him. So from there, I was like, oh, okay, no problem. He's your son after all. I'm not gonna contradict with that. Um, it is what it is. So after a few days, give me a few minutes. After a few days of the child being born, literally tried to get hold of him so that I understand what's going on, what's the way forward, because I had in my mind that the relationship is no longer working. So I was okay with moving on, but I needed to have an assurance that we can co-parent and raise the kid together. But when I tried to do that, he came off very cold, as if he wasn't interested at all to co-parenting, and I ended up just leaving everything, and I just focused on just being me and raising the child. I mean, I'm only 18 years old. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. So luckily, one day, a friend reached out on Facebook after like 5 years, and they sent me a location, and they said I must go to that location. They're looking for people. They're actually conducting interviews, so I must go there. So this was a job opportunity that just opened up without me even looking for a job, but God gave me a job, so I went there, and it was a restaurant, and I just literally had to create a CV. I gave them, and I didn't have any experience of working in a restaurant or waitering, nothing. But to the glory of God, they accepted me, and I started working there. When I started working as a waitress, I was making a good amount of money, so it was easy for me to pick up and start looking after my child. And thank God my brother was there for me through it all. So my brother would stay behind with my son whilst I'm working. My mom was working, but she was already looking after my sister because my sister was also young. She was just a year when my son was born. So now there are two kids in the house, and it's all women. So we all had to work to look after the kids. So after that, that's when I found out that he had already moved on. He had a woman, and the woman was expecting. She was pregnant, and apparently all the money and everything, well, he was spending it on her, buying her expensive bags, Louis Vuitton, everything. At first, I was so jealous and what do you call it, envy, I think it's the same thing, but towards this woman, resentment towards the woman as well, that she stole my life, that could have been me and my kid, what there were a lot of emotions going on, which also took me time to recover from that, because I thought having the child, everything was gonna change, and I was gonna have this perfect life with this guy. But it didn't work out the way I thought it was gonna work. So I just had to block and just forget about this guy and just focus on my kid. So it was very nice raising my child. I was trying from, everything that I could, working hard as a waitress, making money to look after my child. Even though it was a challenging moment because I was young, at the same time I'm trying to chase my dreams, my goals. At the same time, I have to raise a child. It was a lot going on at that moment, but the guy never reached out or anything. So let's fast forward 3 years later. Now my son is 3 years, and this guy started reaching out that he wants to see his son and things like that. So he asked for for him for a weekend. Like, can I take him for a weekend just for me to spend time with him and get to know him and things like that? I was like, no, it's fine, but you have to ask my mom, the grandmother, because she's the one who's taking care of him, so that if you guys agree, I don't have a problem with that, because at the end of the day, you are his father, so I don't have a problem. So after that, he came with the woman. I wasn't there. My brother told me he came with his wife and took the kid. They went for a weekend. After a weekend, he brought him back. We're like, oh, okay, cool. So this is 3 years later. The wife also gave birth. So now my son has a sister. So that was also part of him saying that, oh, I want him to come over so that he excuse me, so that he gets familiar with his siblings, throughout the years and things like that. I said, I don't have a problem with that at all. He has every right to know his siblings and his paternal family as well. I can't take my resentment or whatever that I'm holding against the dad over the child. I wanted the child to have the freedom to know his both families, despite of the situation between me and his dad, because that's one thing I've always wanted from the beginning, to co-parent. So I was happy that finally he's getting involved. Maybe he can also help with the fees and things like that. So after some months, he asked for the child again to see the child for a weekend. So now we're getting used to the system where we thought maybe he's gonna start taking the child on a weekend basis, as he had explained that he wants the kids to get closer to each other and things like that. So after that, on that weekend, neither did I know that that was the weekend that I will ever see my son again. So he took the child, and as the weekend ended, he never brought the child back. So I called, I'm asking, why are you not bringing him back? What's going on? He's like, no, I've realized you guys are too poor to take care of my child. He doesn't deserve that. He's so behind for his age and things like that. He said a lot of hurtful words, which hurt me as a mother, because regardless of my financial status, what's important is that I'm standing up for my child. I'm looking after my child. So I was looking after my child and everything, but it came off as if we were caretakers or caregivers for this child, like we're not related, and we didn't do a good job with this child. So the way he was talking to me and my family is as if he was paying us. But anyway, I healed from that. I tried to get lawyers, but I didn't have any information regarding this man. All I know was the name, which I don't even know if it's his real name. All I knew was his name. I don't even know where he stays, because I was young. This is something that happened when I was like 17. So after that, I tried everything I could, and there was no way for me to get hold of my child. He didn't block us or anything. We could still contact him, but it's just the way that he could speak to us. It had no respect, And then I told my mom, like, I don't think I'm gonna ever heal from this, because I didn't know I was gonna lose a child. And I was also learning how to be a mom. I was a first-time mom. I'm learning how to be a mom, and I wasn't given that opportunity or chance. It was taken away from me. There are a lot of things I wish I would have changed as a mom, because I spent most of the time working, trying to put up food on the table. My prayer every day was for God to give me a job that can make me spend time with my child and see him grow and everything like that. And this man has taken that away from me. So I was like to my mom, just take the responsibility and just talk to him, and just make sure you keep contact with the man, so that we know if the child is fine, so that we don't end communication, so that when the child grows, at least he's familiar with you. Like, just get involved, because I can't communicate with this man without being disrespectful, and I can't say anything bad to them because they have my child. I don't know how they look after the child with the stepmom as well. I don't know her heart or things like that. So that incident happened, but there was a lot of pain inside of me for so long, for so many years. Not really for so many years. It just happened, I think, like a year. And then in that moment, that's when I found myself in isolation. In isolation, I would always cry. And I would always ask God, like, why? Why did you give me a child only to take the child away from me? I know the child is not dead, but me not being able to get in contact, see my child, hold my child is painful. And from the way of it, this man doesn't seem like he wants to cooperate or for me to be involved in this child life. It's like, that's it for me, and I don't know where to start. I remember praying in my bedroom, and my routine, like I said in my Esther fast video, that it became a routine where every day after work I would read my Bible, worship. That was my routine. So I didn't feel lonely, but I felt so alone because my child was like the foundation of my family. I was like, I'm finally raising my own little family, and with my son by my side, I'll be so strong and everything like that. And this is when I understood that this is the beginning of God preparing me for something, because I had a lot of pride, I had a lot of resentment, jealousy, I had a lot of selfish love. Like, this is my son, no one would do anything to my kid. I would do whatever it takes for that person. I can kill a person for my child, you know. There was a lot happening in me. My heart was like a stone, based on just, it's about me and my son, nothing else. So every time I would pray, and then one day the Holy Spirit convicted me, and this is what it said. The Holy Spirit told me that child hasn't left you, but I need to prepare you for something, or I need to heal you first in order for you to raise the child. For now, you are not prepared. For now, it's not the right time. You need to work on yourself, and I'm gonna help you with that. Because the vision of who you are now, you will not raise the king that I need you to raise on that child. He's not just a normal child, he's an extraordinary child. And I need to work within you so that you understand the assignment that I have for this child. It's not only about finances. I know as a single mother, you're struggling to really give him the life that he needed. But at this point, the father can give him that life. And I'm also preparing you and preparing the child for the journey to come. I started crying at that moment because I didn't understand, and I'm trying to figure out with this thing that I just felt inside of me. Like, why, God? Why? You know, if you are God, you wouldn't hurt me this much. You wouldn't take away my child. And then I would always pray. And every time I would pray, every time I would pray, God would tell me that you are the Mary of this season. I've ordained you to give birth to a child who has a purpose on the earth. He's not for you to keep, but he's for you to raise and to direct him in the path that I need you to direct the child. And I want you to hear me, that you're not equipped right now to raise this child, because I need to work something in you. At that moment, I began to understand the Holy Spirit, that it was speaking deeper than what I ever thought or imagined. That's when I began to pray that even if I feel alone, I'm not alone now, because I know you are with me, you're protecting me, and you're guiding me. It's not about having another child or having to forget and build another family. But I need to accept this assignment you've given me. Because at that moment, I felt it when he said, I'm the Mary of the season. That's when it reflected to me that motherhood, it's not for you to just have children. It's an assignment. It's when God appoints you to be a mother, to give birth to children who have purpose on this earth, to change generations and generations. That's when it all started, when I started my journey with the Holy Spirit. It convicted me, that it changed my heart, that He began to teach me that the love that you have is not the love that I need you to have. You have a selfish love, which is dangerous, which can hurt a person. But I want you to have a love that makes you see my reflection in every humanity. When you see a person, see how I've created them and how unique they are, as much as how I've created you and how you've also created your son. I've put a child in your womb. He grew up in your womb. I molded him in your womb. So you also created life at that moment. And how precious it was when it came out. That's the exact same way that I see you and everyone else. So you are no different. You're my child. And I want you to develop that thing in you. And I began to care for people. I began to see people differently. I used to resent people. I never used to like people around me. I've always told myself I'm an introvert. I don't like people. I used to hate people. But it developed this thing within my heart that a person is unique. Every time I would pray to God that send me somebody to care for. Send me somebody to love. Because the love that I'm having within me is too heavy for myself. I need to love humanity as you have loved me. And this is something that I cannot explain to anybody, but this is something that you have shown me, that I can love as you have loved me, and as you love people as well. It's all because of your love that we are here, and it's all because of your love that we are who we are. But majority of the time we are lost and we are blinded. But when you call us closer to you, you prepare us. You put us in a season where you prune us. You have to peel us off so that we begin to understand our assignments. I begin to pray and understand that He was speaking to me, that it was an assignment. But with that assignment, I've seen that there is something which is not fit at the moment for you to handle the assignment. So at this moment, I need to take it away from you so that you begin to understand that I'm calling you. Every time I go back to that moment, tears roll down my eyes. Not because of the pain of my child not being with me, but because of how God spoke to me. How He healed me in that moment by assuring me that you don't need people around you to fulfill you. I'm here with you. You're not alone. I'm here. And all you need is answers, and I can give them to you. And from that day, everything was clear. Everything began to change, from how I see myself, from how I dress, from how I think, from being depressed to being healed, from all these things I was. It didn't take time from then that I had to quit from the waitering job, because I was in a place which was not serving God. I had to quit. I didn't know where I was gonna get money. I had a bit of saved up rent, which I was just gonna pay a couple of months, but I didn't know what was gonna happen afterwards. People thought I was gonna beg, like, why are you having a pride? You should just come back to work and things like that. But I knew at that moment that enough is enough. I can't see myself there. It's time for me to move to a different path now. And thankfully, my ex-employer, the people that I'd worked for PA, as a PI, they reached out to me and they called me and they said, if you're looking for a job, or if you're open, would like you to come back to work. And this is an environment where I don't need to think much. This is an environment where there's peace. I asked God, like, why are you giving me this job now when I no longer have my child? Whereas this is the job I was praying for, that I would be able to like go to work no more times, 9 to 5. I come back, I can be with my child after school. Like that's the life that I was asking for. But now it came at a time where I've lost the child and you gave me the blessing. But he said it's not only for that. I'm building you. Focus on the process that I'm preparing you for, that I'm building you for a journey, that you need to understand that I need to also align you financially so that you can be able to take care of yourself and understand that there's bigger things to this where I need to invest more. I want you to start thinking strategically. I'm developing your mind financially so that it's not only going to stop by, oh, when I'm financially well, I can get my kid. It's not about finances. Remember, the journey is about who this child is meant to be on the earth and who you are meant to be his guardian. I begin to understand that, and all I could do was to pray for the family that is raising him, that may they have peace, may they raise him in the ways that honors the Lord. Because as far as I am away from him, I cannot lead him the way that God is instructing me, but I can pray that what God is instructing me reaches the family so that they take care of him in the ways that God has intended that his life should take place. From then my journey began, and I began to communicate with the Holy Spirit and understand every stage of my life. It was not about being desperate to look for somebody to love or to look for love. No, I had so much love within me that I needed to pour out the love of God on a person. Neither did I know that God was preparing me for marriage, that who he built me to be was for marriage. Not only for marriage, but for humanity, everyone around me, for my children, for me to understand that in every stage and season that I'm entering in my life, it's an appointed time and it's an assignment that God is giving me. It's for me to understand that life is a mission. I'm commissioned in this moment to be in a battlefield which is allowing me to move step by step, which I can only move at the appointed time, which I can only move when I'm appointed and assigned to it. It's like a soldier. When you're a soldier, you're appointed your role in the battlefield. You don't just run into the battlefield. There are roles which God puts you in. So I begin to understand, and then marriage came. When marriage came, I overlooked everything that people tick on a paper, that, oh, he needs to be financially well, I need him to have this, that. I understood that my assignment is to love. I need to love this person. God put me in a position where financially I'm able. I can take care and I can manage. And my husband is also in a financial stage where he's finding his way. And if you don't understand the assignment, God is not going to bring a person who's equipped to you. God may show the person the direction to you, but there's a reason why he encountered you as the wife. That because this is an assignment for you, you need to keep in the assignment, because I put you in it because there's work to be done. So sometimes when you enter into marriage, don't expect your partner to see you that you are well equipped, that God is channeling you. No, can actually be the opposite, that they don't see none of that at all. That they might believe some things and not believe everything. It made me struggle a lot when my first year in marriage, because he didn't understand my visions, he didn't understand my dreams. I felt judged. I felt drifted away from God, because I'm like, God, why are you giving me a person who doesn't understand the journey and things like that? But then it always came to reflect that it's an assignment. It's a mission. Your relationship with me, that's why I placed you to be closer to me as your God so that you're not alone. Because despite how you are in a marriage and you think you're fulfilled, you're no longer alone, you have somebody to count on, it will never work like that. As long as you come closer to me, He will begin to understand that this woman, the way she's built, she's not alone. She's not desperate for me, but she's desperate for a bigger being, which I myself as a husband, I cannot equal to or argue against, but I have to also draw closer. So that assignment is also for you as the wife, to be closer to God. God is the one who changes a person's heart. God is the one who changes situations. God is the one who's going to transform your marriage to be what you've envisioned it. But that mind you had that you're expecting you're going to find in marriage, God is going to give you a new expectation. The expectation that He's going to set Himself and manifest before your eyes without you even trying, but just because of the relationship you have with God and the power of the Holy Spirit that has convicted you. No matter how hard or selfish you want to be, because of the conviction, it always turns you to who God has prepared you to be and who God has made you to be in a season. At this point, even if I'm angry, trust me, I can be angry with my husband, we can argue, but I just get to a point where I'm in silence. It can take me days, not because I'm angry. I'm not angry at him, but he has a different mindset. He might think we're arguing, but I'm not. The silence is when I separate the world in order for me to hear from God. And God always puts me to that position of, this is why I needed you alone in the first place. So that when you get to situations like this, you begin to understand that when I can't control the situation now, I will come back to who I was with when I felt alone, to who made everything to be how it is now. Because it was not my vision, it is His vision that He has planted on the earth to manifest. Because this is an assignment. So I have to come back to Him to understand again why is everything moving the way it's moving. And He always has the answer and the explanation for everything. So I may not explain this well to you guys, but I just want you to understand that if God is giving you the direction of marriage, you don't need to figure out marriage yourself, because you never win. It makes you apart from each other, because you're two different genders. How a woman thinks and a man thinks, two different things. But God trusted you as a woman. The time you were crying for marriage, you're praying for marriage if you are, or the time you're praying for God to change your life, you didn't know in what manner God was going to change your life, but it changed in a way that God brought someone, or He gave you someone to be part of your life, not because to fulfill what the gap you have, but is to walk the journey together. But because it's an appointed mission, you walk with the person, knowing where God, listening to God, where are you taking me? Where are we going? You're not leading the man. You are in your line. You are in your assignment that God has given you. So that's how God prepared me to be who I am. And I'm very grateful that God opened my heart from having a heart of a stone to having a heart which is as soft as, I don't know, but I'm so fragile. It opened me up. I don't want to lie. The conviction that the Holy Spirit has in me has transformed me and changed me as a person. And I'll forever be grateful. Even if I feel like I've drifted away, or I'm no longer as prayerful as I used to be, the Holy Spirit, which convicted me, which convicts me still, it always makes me realize to come back. That it's not about what's happening now, but look at the journey that we've walked together and how everything have transformed. That always comes back to you to realize who God is and how the Holy Spirit can always speak within you. So this is part of how God prepared me as a person for marriage, and everything that has changed. My life has literally changed. And this is something I never wanted to share for a long time. But I felt like now is the time for me to share this. Now it's 3 years, going 4 years. I haven't seen my son, but now he's grown. He's 7 now. At least we communicate on the phone. I just hope that one day when he's able to actually know his address, maybe he can tell me and I'll be able to meet him. But for now, he's still a bit young. He only knows where he is, but he doesn't know the address or the estate where he is. So that's a bit of a challenging, but I'm happy that now I'm able to communicate with my son directly. The father never gave an open space for us to be able to see the child. We've tried, doesn't give us his address, nothing. So there's no way we even know where our child is. But just the fact of me having to talk to my child, it gives me peace. And also the word that the Holy Spirit gave me, it gives me more peace about the whole situation. So I just want to share to you guys that if you're going through a situation, I know it can be hurtful. I know you cannot see the end of it, but just understand that God is preparing you for something deeper and for something greater. When God brings a storm in your life, it's not to hurt you, it's not to suppress you, but it's to bring something greater. It's to change your life. It's preparing you for something bigger that is coming. If He doesn't prune you, or if He doesn't make you who He wants you to be at that moment, when a greater storm comes, you'll be defeated. You won't be able to handle it. And God always puts us in a position or in a season where we can handle or overcome the storm that comes our way. So with this, I hope it helps you, and I hope it gives you an understanding of how God can prepare you to become a different person. So with this story, there's more to this. That's why I'm starting the series on our memberships. So go ahead and subscribe. It's not a lot. I think it's 30 Rand subscription. Go ahead and subscribe so that you get more of this content. I'm trying to separate my lifestyle vlogs to my faith-based content. Since now my subscribers, it's all mixed. Some of them, they'll be confused like, oh, I came to this channel because I saw the Esther fast, and now this person, I'm just seeing vlogs and all that. So I want to separate that so that you guys have a full understanding of the testimonies, so that it also helps you guys in building your journey with Christ, and also be aware of the things that you need to do in order for you to build relationship with God, so that you understand. Testimonies really help. They uplift faith for others. It also helps to glorify God. And trust me, when you listen to a testimony, you begin to understand that certain areas of your life, you are a living testimony, and God has been fighting on your behalf. So yeah, this is what I needed to share with you guys. And I hope you like this video. Don't forget to share so that it reaches out to more people as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the memberships and to the channel as well. If you also like to know me if you also want to know me on my day-to-day life, I do post daily vlogs. I do post my life as a wife. If you're interested in that, go ahead and watch my vlogs as well. Yeah, that's it for today. Stay tuned for the series. If you really can't wait for the series, please comment down below in the comment section that you are really excited and looking forward for the series to come. And don't forget to subscribe on the memberships. Until next time, bye.